All right, everybody, welcome to another badass episode of Vinyl Voices Radio. This one's going to be a whole lot of fun because it's a family show.
It is. It's all in the family tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So tonight we have Escape from Zoo. So we'll let you know who they are in a little bit.
You're going to see some resemblance, especially in the facial hair.
Yeah, right. The beards.
The beards.
Yeah.
Some hairy people on the show today.
Who I say what?
For the fellowship.
This is Vinyl Voices Radio. ESPN 97.5.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm John Goodman.
Jesse Sandehan.
All right, everybody, welcome to this episode of Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. I'm John Denman. He's Jesse Sandejas. And like I said, we have a really fun show for this week. Some badass music's going to be listened to and played. Sprague's Pizza is definitely going to be eaten.
Yep. Frank's. Good stuff. What you got there?
Drinking some good True Anomaly beer.
Yeah.
So why don't you fill us in on our guest this week?
Yeah. So that is John Denman, and I am Jesse Sandejas, and that's also Jesse Sandejas, my son, and that's my daughter-in-law, Veronica.
Don't know where the camera.
Camera 1, camera 2, 3, 4.
So they're in a few bands, but the one that we're going to focus on tonight is Escape from Zoo, Fat Wreck recording artist. We're going to talk about songs from their 2022 Fat Wreck debut, and then talk about some cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, so that was pretty exciting. Whenever you guys posted, like, guess who just signed us?
Yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah.
We had so Elliot, our guitar player, came over to my folks' house during the pandemic. He rode a bus and made sure he was completely, clean, showed up, and we recorded the whole thing at the house and sent it off to our buddies John E. Carey and Baz that worked with us on a Fat Wreck release we did with my other band, Days and Days. And I guess while they were working on it, Fat Mike just walked by and heard some of it, and it was like, sign that.
Nice. On just one listen, I don't think I ever got the full story. Did he pass 2 or 3 times? Because I could see
That's the story that I heard. He just, I guess, heard one of them mixing it, and he was like, yep, that.
Nice.
No, it was No Effects. Been one of my favorite bands for a long time, and then to see you guys jump on that label, and I've known you for a while as well, and so I was like, yeah, I'm proud of these guys.
Yeah, you have actually known Jesse longer than you've known me, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe
Strange.
so.
Yeah.
It is strange. We've come full circle now.
Right. Yeah.
But wait, not yet. That's when we all started our band together. That's really
right,
come
yeah.
full circle.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see if Veronica's going to step aside for Kelly on mandolin in that band.
You're playing drums, right?
Whatever you guys say. Yeah, I think drums, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although you're a drummer.
No, I'm not. I have drums. I mean, that's I have an alto saxophone too. I could be that guy, but I'm,
Right.
Yeah.
I got a car. I'm not a race car driver.
There it is.
Yeah.
I can be that guy too. At a 7th grade level only.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really go beyond that. But I also
Veronica
am
shreds the
alto
sax.
sax guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have played it at shows.
Yeah, and then it broke.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sad.
They're
dude.
expensive.
But that's when you got the flute. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're cheap.
Yeah. So, yeah, tonight we're going to listen to some songs. I don't really know the order of what we're going to listen to, but you guys pick the songs. That's what happens on this show. The artists come on, they pick the songs, and then we listen to them, and then we kind of ask about them and get the backstory. So
We have seen the show.
you have,
It's so surreal to be in the studio because I've seen it on YouTube so much.
yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's funny when you're walking in, you're like, oh, there's the pool. Oh, there's that thing. Oh, there's the sign. So
It really is in a garage. It happens. All right, well, let's listen to the first song.
yeah, let's do. Do y'all have a preference for what we go with first?
Dealer's choice.
All right, I say let's go with Sentient Beer.
It's time to remove a piece of this puzzle that I put together with music and drugs. The drug part specifically, I know dependent on never become what I want. Cause I got a lot of goals, as a rose to say. One of them is free to pick your poison, and the fun of done a ton of them. They certainly shape me, but hope that didn't make me the person who I'm going to be. I'm genuinely afraid to change, and I'm aware that it sounds a bit strange and depressing, but booze has been there for me. I'm not prepared to be made out of cool. And I'd like to believe that the art came from me and it wasn't the drugs. But it truly is frightening deep down inside of me. I'm not so sure that it was. Please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically, a sentient beer. I've been to that point where your body is functioning, but you are no longer running the show. And if you're in the same boat, I'd like to make certain there's one thing you know. I am judging every weather in the storm. I will happily give you my raincoat, and I hope that you make it through. Trust me, it's better to know that your thoughts are your own. And I'd like to believe that the art came from me and it wasn't the drugs. But it truly is frightening deep down inside of me. I'm not so sure that it was. Please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically, a sentient beer. I've gotta find my self-esteem in someplace other than a bottle. But I've been running on this crutch for so damn long.
Out of door so quickly when you've only got one speedness for throttle. If it's the right decision, why does it feel so wrong?
Poisons compress my very soul. It seems as we keep getting older, we are forced to be what we see as important. Partying is always fun till meditating help me run. Box up the toxins, I'm so done with feeling weighted, sick and dumb. And for myself, I need to know that I can do this on my own. So won't you please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you've all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically, a sentient beer. Please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically, a sentient beer. Please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically, a sentient beer.
Yeah, so let's talk about that song.
That song was called Sentient Beer, not Learning Curve, y'all.
Yep, Sentient Beer.
Sentient Beer.
But you know, the lyrics you talk about, you know, was the drugs that helped you write the lyrics or help you be the musician that you are and all this. And I don't know. That's something that I always feel like I don't agree with, because like Kurt Cobain was a good musician. Jimi Hendrix was a badass musician, you know, and all like people are very talented. And I mean, does it open up a few other ways to do things? Possibly, but it doesn't take away the talent.
I think that like tortured artist thing is just a complete fallacy. Everything that I've ever wrote that I like, I wrote when I was sober. Maybe I'll take like notes and things when I'm in like an altered state of mind, but it never comes together cohesively obviously, because I'm out of my.
Well, I mean, I know I've had ideas at night. I'm like, this is the best idea ever. And I'll scribble it down. I'll wake up. I'm like, this doesn't even
What
make
the
sense.
hell is this?
Last night it was-
It's write drunk, edit sober, right? That's like the.
Yep.
But you don't even have to write drunk. If you just kind of just skip that part, you can write and edit and create so much faster. It's important to me that budding artists understand that, because I kind of got sucked into it with like Baker 3 kind of glorified, like drinking with the piss drunk stuff, and then of course like bands like Leftover Crack or the Casualties. Punk rock in general kind of glorifies drinking and drug use, and it's just so destructive. And they never talk about the aftermath. I mean, no one ever like parties that hard and then like lives to be okay.
Yeah, wakes up the next day like, all right, guys, who wants to go for a jog?
Glad we did that. Yeah, and it does not happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about it when you're hammered. You're like, we're going to wake up, we're going to work out, it's going to be... And you wake up and you feel like total hell.
Mm-hmm.
Using didn't make any of them... It didn't create any of them. It destroyed them.
Yeah.
It really...
Yeah.
That's what killed all your heroes. It's not what created your heroes.
Yeah. The 27 Club was not forged by drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, it made it to 32.
Yeah.
But I feel like, it's still that contemplation of it. It has to be there when, you're walking hand in hand with it, as you have at times. It's like, okay, well, how can you not think of things that way sometimes? And so...
Of course, especially booze is just inescapable in this country. I was watching some show called The Alienist, I think, on Hulu the other day, and they had like an ad break every like 30 minutes, and every single time it was just like Crown Royal, Budweiser, like every single commercial break was like a different alcohol, and I was like, this is nuts, man. Like, if people understood how devastating that drug can be, they would not be like...
It's one of the worst things by far that's ever been created by mankind.
Really,
alcohol.
You can do... Honestly, you could do cocaine every day. If you do it in moderation, you'd be better off than drinking every day.
Yeah.
Commercials for cocaine.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
That's what
cocaine!
We'll let you know in 2 weeks.
Super Bowl halftime show brought to you by that pure white. Yeah. It's scary, and people don't think about it because it's so ubiquitous in our society, just everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I've been there, I've done that, and it's not been fun for most of it.
Yeah, well, as you're watching commercials, I mean, they never show like the next day where there was like a Pedialyte commercial that really surprised me. That the guy was sitting at the refrigerator drinking Pedialyte. The kid comes by and goes, "Hey, Daddy, that's mine." I'm like, that's a hangover commercial right there.
Exactly.
That's truth.
It is. Don't they sell like this stuff now too? That's just like basically an IV for...
Yeah.
I think you could go to like a IV clinic and just get a hangover.
Yeah, just go get all your essentials replenished back in you.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
That's nuts. Neither have I.
I have a friend that does it on a regular basis.
Does it work?
He says it does. Claims it does. I don't know.
Well, music definitely, there's substance abuse associated with
I mean,
a lot of musicians, but it's a lot of different art too. I mean, like writers and so this question
There's substance abuse kind of related to every field. There's substance abuse at McDonald's.
Yeah.
There's substance abuse at the oil field.
I can vouch for that. There's
Yes.
substance abuse at McDonald's. It helps it go. It makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Tweakers are working at all your local McDonald's, and they're getting done.
Yeah. You know how many double cheeseburgers you can make in an hour if you hit that pipe?
Get it just right. Yeah. Speeds up that drive-through.
Don't do it, kids.
Please don't do it. It's very,
Not condoning any of it at all.
very toxic.
Yeah, I'm interested in the response to that song because, it's the lyric is I'm just thinking about this thing about myself, but a big thing with y'all's music is a lot of people really respond to it, and so what's the response been like for that particular song? I mean, is it usually very personal to you, like, oh no, man, you're good, or I mean?
I think that song I recorded when I got sober for the first time on the road with leftover crack, which seems like an impossible thing to do, but those guys are actually super supportive, especially Brad Logan, who plays guitar. He's been sober for like 20 years, and he'd have like AA meetings backstage and stuff before the shows. So I got sober, and on the road I wrote that song. I just took a video of myself playing it in our tour van at like 2 a.m. or something and posted it to YouTube. And the response was overwhelmingly positive. I was kind of nervous because it's just so ingrained in punk culture that, like, you know, you get flipped up and die. Like, that's what we do. Like, that narcissism, that nihilism is kind of just ingrained in the culture of it. But I got so many positive messages that were like, yeah, man, you can do it. You got this. Like, I'm in the same boat. I hate my life. I wake up, you know, and drink a handle of vodka and I just want to stop. I just want to get away from it. And it helps to know that, you know, other people are in the same boat. I think, you know, art goes both ways. It's like if someone can relate to your art, that's fantastic. But also it helps the artist to know that other people can relate to them, because everyone kind of feels alone in these feelings at times.
Right.
Especially in that when, you know, you're used to this. You have one coping mechanism that you learn that works really, really well.
For you and all your friends.
Exactly. And then that one coping mechanism just completely fails you and destroys everything that, you know, you want to do. It's impossible to do what you love, I think, if you spend your life just trying to avoid the parts of life that you hate. And it took me so long to learn that.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one to learn too.
Yeah, because
how to handle that.
Well, crutches feel so good.
Right.
I mean, it really does. We were talking to our banjo player for Days and Days, Owen, the other day, and we were talking about like drug use and getting high and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, my pops told me once that like people are never meant to feel that good." And I was like, I think that's what, because it definitely balances out. Like, you feel incredible, and then you're gonna feel equally as terrible, you know, the next day whenever that wears out. Yeah, if you can keep like a baseline, that's like the best way to be. That's the happiest I've ever been. You know, and I can wake up and actually eat food and taste it and like do things
and enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
And it's before noon.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap up this segment real quick, and when we get back, we'll talk more with Escape from the Zoo. This is Vinyl Voices. For over 30 years, the attorneys at Adley Law Firm have helped navigate their clients through car and truck accidents, premise liability claims, and other types of personal injury cases. They are board certified and have an aggressive reputation with insurance companies, and their caring approach to clients has made them one of Houston's best Google-reviewed personal injury firms. Live chat now with an Adley Law Firm representative at adleylawfirm.com or call 713-999-8669 for a free consultation. No fees unless they win your case. 713-999-8669. Key T Wellness, our friends down in Dickinson, is where you need to go if you're feeling sluggish, non-energetic, and non-motivated, not just when you're hungover. Get to know your numbers. As we get a little older, our hormone levels change, men and women. Key T Wellness can help. Weight loss, hormone optimization, low testosterone, B12, Botox, and more. KeyTWellness.com. Why not feel your best again? KeyTWellness.com.
Welcome to Vinyl Voices with your hosts, John Denman and Jesse Sendejas. Grab a drink and get ready to dive into some badass music. Take it away, boys.
All right.
All right, we are back. This is Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. He's Justin Dejas. I'm John Denman. He's Justin Dejas.
She's not John Denman.
Nope.
She's Veronica Sendejas.
Veronica
Don't listen
Sendejas.
to them.
So, Escape from the Zoo is our guest this week. And if you were listening to the last segment, you heard about a song. We're going to listen to a few more, and then you're going to hear some live stuff as well. But I was kind of thinking, now that we got, Pop sitting over here, early on in the days, whenever you really started playing stuff, how open were you with like lyrics for your parents? Because mom's sitting over here too.
I would show my parents everything.
Yeah.
Kind of, Veronica said I'm a, what is it?
Look what I can do.
I'm a look what I can do kind of person.
Yeah, Stuart from Mad TV.
As soon as I write something, I want to show somebody. And so, I showed my parents like everything. I remember sitting at our dining room table after I wrote like my first accordion song, and I was like, check this out, I'm so proud. Like, But anyway, my parents, showed me punk rock when I was growing up. My dad was the first one that taught me the like Ramones beat. You don't even play drums, but you like I guess studied it. So
in
it's
our
like,
band.
you like studied it so much that you knew like the
Yeah.
and that's how I learned that. Same with the ska beat. You're like, I think they're like strumming up when they do it, and that's how I learned how to do the ba 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 ba. So yeah, I mean, I showed my parents everything. Very open book, open family. It's
Yeah.
It was one of those, like, my son, when he really started writing a bunch of music and making music, he'd show me, but like, don't tell mom. Because the lyrics were not exactly, the best that would not get him in trouble somehow, kind of thing. I'm like, she'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Yeah. What about you? Was when you were like just starting your whole thing, were you also Stuart from Mad TV, like, look what I could do? No?
Never.
Really?
I still am not that way. I don't. I won't let Jesse hear me when I record, which is about to change for the next album. I tried to play in front of my parents, or like my dad and my stepmom and my siblings, a couple years ago, and I just froze up. Like, I just couldn't do it. They terrify me. They're great people, amazing people,
They're beautiful
very
people.
chill, very sweet people. I'm still just terrified of judgment, I think. I'm not sure why.
Man.
But yeah,
I'm the opposite of look what I can do.
but when you go on stage to perform,
It's a different thing. I don't know why. It's just me playing music with my friends. I just don't look at the crowd. I look at them or at my feet, and that's...
It's also different in front of a crowd because it's like one amalgam, that you're playing to, as opposed to like when we play for y'all tonight, it's going to be so much scarier than any of the shows we just play on the West Coast where there's like 500 people every night. That I'm fine with. I get out there and I might as well just be sitting alone in my room. I'm fine. But when there's like 6 people in a room, like,
and there's 12 eyes on you.
yeah, 'cause everyone is like,
Or 11,
Yeah, I guess it was,
Guy with the patch.
I was counting the dog.
Yeah, it's funny because, we're talking with you as an artist, but of course I'm listening to you as a dad, and those things that you're talking about are true, you never were like afraid to be like, check this out or whatever, because we knew it was art, music, but also just kind of hearing you guys, it's like, man, I feel like even when we're not trying to, parents put so much pressure, on kids, and it's
we just want to make y'all proud.
right.
It's like, I mean, of course I want to make, every crowd proud. I want them to have the night out they deserve. I want them to get their money's worth. I want them to have fun, but like, after the show, I'm not going to see them at Christmas,
Right. Not usually. But we can do the whole shoe on the other foot tonight because this is our new thing, and we're trying to, do a thing. So I'm trying to make you proud tonight. How's that?
Oh, you already done it. I've seen all the podcasts. They're incredible. Y'all have a super solid setup.
It starts with 3 large pieces from Frank's.
That's right. You
Like
can't-
most things do.
Yes. That's how we set the stage here.
Right. And then
Frank's at the stage for life.
DJ Muskratch and Jason Sparza, those guys will always hold it down. So
Billy over there.
Mm-hmm. Do a little run of security.
Billy the bouncer.
Yeah. But just writing songs, right? Because punk rock songs are usually pretty fast anyways, and there's a lot of lyrics, but your songs are even faster, where you have to write 3 times the amount of lyrics per song than like most songs.
I mean, I don't think I have to. I could probably like.
He does, and then he does it for 3 bands.
Spoken to plenty of people who are like, why do you write that? You know, you could just write like 2 verses and like a hook. And I'm like, well, I need to get the point across. I've got like, I don't actually write that often, but when it hits, it's just like a flood, and I want to get like every idea out there. Or it just feels incomplete.
Do you usually like stick to one song and that happens, or do you like write all this stuff down and go, oh, this could be 2 songs?
No, I don't think I've ever split a song. I think it's pretty much like I get like hyper locked into like one thing, and then I'll just work on that till it's done. It usually takes like a few hours. Very few songs I've ever written happen over like a span of days. Kind of just, I mean, sounds cheesy, but like the muse hits, you know?
Yeah.
Or like Rick Rubin would say, like you pluck the pluck the creativity out of the vastness of space, or whatever his ideology was.
Sounds like something he would say.
All right. Well, we should listen to an example of what Jesse was just talking about.
Yes. Speaking about a lot of lyrics in one song.
Yeah. This one is Countin Cards. It's the titular track. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Titular.
Can you say that on radio?
Another dead, another shot in the street, another viral video, we tap out our condolences, and then another cop gives a speech. They try to justify a killer at a podium, and somehow, still up at night, it can't see the blatant hate and racism pervading the society. And worse still, are the ones who could help but choose not to, may as well cut holes in their sheets. The ones to be wary of, and the ones who don't want things to change.
Cause they're comfy this way, they can fire on a protest and somehow not end up in a grave.
They'll just turn themselves in the next day.
Purpose of the process,
Information don't work that way. The debts are stacked, and the house always wins. When you're crooked is a dog time leg. Well, we've been counting cards. We're fucking benefits gone too far.
We turned our backs on this too many times. It's not real unless it's happening to us. It's a process we're never gonna process. Battling the bitter bodies of this nonsense till we've exhausted all we've got. But I'll never say however many times this may lead me up into a numbing state till we can't stomach the world afraid.
I guess the sun was going up in flames. Pretty likely we're both to the end of days, but doesn't mean we end the fight back. When you fight, you lose out when your time's done. Burning bigots, saving states, raising brackets, not the stays away from the hateful ways of these despotic leaders of the state.
So that song starts up, ramps up, and then takes you back down. Nice, easy piano going on.
Yep, that was
Keys.
our guitar player Elliot's sister-in-law that played the piano at the end there. It's gorgeous. Come on. Come
And
here.
then Elliot's got other family that also did some stuff on that album too.
Yep, his brother did horns on Jars of Fears and Martin Curve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's, I don't know. There's it's such a, you guys have such a unique style. And I mean, it was like, you know, you mentioned Days and Days. The first time I listened to that band, I was like, I've never heard anything like this before. You know, and it was like, but it is, and your vocals are also very unique. So where
Thanks.
it was like when, because Escape from the Zoo, you have songs where like you scream a lot, you know, right? Is that something that you like? I don't know, just one day did you just like, ah, and you're like, that sounds good.
I used
take
to
this
try
forward.
and like, because I mean, we grew up listening to, you know, like the Steady Seven bands and, you know, all, like the screamy stuff and like death metal, Norma Jean and all that. And like, I would try to do that when I was younger, but it came out like, like I just didn't know how my vocal cords worked yet. And I think it was like singing to, forget what I was singing to, but I was singing something in the, it was Molotov Compromise.
I thought you were going to be
Houston
like
shout
Elvis
out.
Presley.
It was Elvis Presley, and I was like, this is no, it was Molotov Compromise. I was driving around, and it just like clicked, and I like figured out how to do it, and it's like the most cathartic feeling in your vocal cords, especially into a microphone in front of like a bunch of people, and it's super loud on a stage.
Yeah.
Just you can really like let everything out.
Probably this is something you don't necessarily want out there, but that's what the show's about. Let's just do it. Jesse had a band when he was really young called the Don Wallies.
Don Wallies. Look it up. You'll never find it.
It's out there. I'm just saying. But that was, you know, that kind of thing. It was like, were those Blood Brothers, right?
Blood Brothers, Heavy, Low, Low.
Yeah, all those bands.
I
Like the,
love that
like
shit.
screamo core kind
That's
of.
good stuff. Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you listen to it now, it's still fun. But that's kind of the first iteration of where he was going with music. And the only reason I bring it up is because he said how good it felt, and I just remember the story of like you guys having like a show at a neighborhood park, and
That's maybe
that's
one,
when it happened, right?
probably the gnarliest show I've ever played was.
Really?
What was that? Pecan
something
Park or
park.
I forget, but it was at some. It was just a park in the middle of a suburb, in a gazebo, and we like
Daytime?
showed up. No, it was
Is that the same?
nighttime.
Okay, nighttime.
But we like bought all the drums and amps and stuff, and wired a extension cord to the bathroom plug like across the park, and had like a PA set up, and that pit was real. I went in the bathroom after we played, and this dude looked. I was like washing my hands, and this dude looked at me, and he was like, "Does this look okay?" And his lip was just hanging off. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it checked out."
It looks great. Don't drink anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't look in the mirror, but yeah, those shows were. What was the band that we played with all the time? Oh, Fire at Will. They were really good too.
Yeah.
It's like just 14-year-olds that had no idea what they were doing and no business doing it in the middle of somewhere that it was not supposed to be done.
Residential neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know.
It happens.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just interesting. I think we talked about this last show or the show before, just like vocals. Just being able to,
Oh, yeah.
like the physiology of your body, you know, like the makeup of that, just be able to project and even just make a harmonizing sound in half-ass key, you know, or something. It's there's a lot going on to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, I sing. It's not pretty. You know?
Same.
And I scream. I'll scream too. You know, if their song hits me right, but it, you know, no one else wants to hear it.
What song have you ever screamed to?
Oh man, don't give me singing some Dolly Parton. Yeah. Maybe that'll be a fourth segment one day.
It needs to be the fourth segment. Yeah.
I'll scream for everybody.
It might
Anybody
be
else scream
this
to that
show's
song.
fourth segment. We'll see how it goes.
Oh no, that probably needs to be, as much as we talk about, drinking is bad, but that's probably gonna need to be a tequila night to make that happen. All right, let's take another break, and we're hanging out with Escape from the Zoo. This is Vinyl Voices, and we'll be right back. KT Wellness, our friends down in Dickinson, is where you need to go if you're feeling sluggish, non-energetic, and non-motivated, not just when you're hungover. Get to know your numbers. As we get a little older, our hormone levels change, men and women. KT Wellness can help. Weight loss, hormone optimization, low testosterone, B12, Botox, and more. KTWellness.com. Why not feel your best again? KTWellness.com. For over 30 years, the attorneys at Adley Law Firm have helped navigate their clients through car and truck accidents, premise liability claims, and other types of personal injury cases. They are board certified and have an aggressive reputation with insurance companies, and their caring approach to clients has made them one of Houston's best Google-reviewed personal injury firms. Live chat now with an Adley Law Firm representative at adleylawfirm.com or call 713-999-8669 for a free consultation. No fees unless they win your case. 713-999-8669.
Welcome to Vinyl Voices, where the music flows as freely as the beer.
All right, we're back. This is Vinyl Voices Radio, and we're hanging out with Escape from the Zoo.
They're all right.
Yeah,
I like them.
probably keep them around a little bit longer. You're lucky you made good music, son. If you didn't. Yeah. Let's jump right into the next song.
Yeah.
What are we gonna hear now?
The next song is Wasted Years.
Wasted Years.
Yeah.
Not unlike anything that was discussed during this break of all the destruction of things I learned about.
And mailboxes.
Mailboxes and, man, the stuff you learn about the people you work with.
She's got you thinking this is how you're supposed to be. Well, it's not. We're young. We're supposed to drink too much. We're supposed to have bad attitudes and shag each other's brains out. We are denied to party. This is it. Yeah, no music. We're overdosed. Or so mental. We had it all. We fucked up bigger and better than any generation that came before.
this one, again, really good song. But out of a lot of your music, they all kind of remind me of different things, and this one really reminded of a NoFX song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely.
you.
Oh no, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's definitely kind of I think we bit No Cash pretty hard with that one. That was definitely an homage to them.
Yeah.
We did that one a couple times too. My dad recorded a music video for the original version. Mm-hmm. They recorded at their house with a single vocal microphone for every instrument. I just held the vocal microphone over an entire drum set, and then we hold the vocal microphone up to each amp, and then
To do the intro, which is the spiel from Misfits, I held Jesse's phone up to a laptop to record it. So I played it on Jesse's phone, and I just held it mic to mic, so it sounds all distorted. It sounds super cool.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. Not at all. I was doing my best. The Cardigans thing was even an accident. I didn't even mean to leave that in there.
But it worked.
It does.
It
It works. It was in time and everything. We were like, okay.
Right.
Did you say you cut that up at our second show ever?
Second show ever, Memphis, Tennessee. Paxton got food poisoning from gas station catfish and threw up on stage while playing. But before the show, Jesse and I sat in the car with his cheap laptop and his cheap phone, cutting up the last little bit of that song, which was the intro.
Yeah.
What a weird second show too. We were just like, we're a band now. We played Houston, and they were like, let's go to Memphis.
Let's go on tour. Memphis. That's where everybody goes.
And
Well, it's all about that gas station catfish.
Oh yeah.
I mean, can't find that anywhere.
You gotta go to Louisiana for that.
Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. New Orleans. What's it called? Jack's or something like that.
Oh, yeah, they're safe.
they're safe.
Cool.
You're talking about the one in New Orleans by, what is that bar?
Um,
I can't remember.
It's like
Rocks.
Jay's.
St.
Bar.
Rocks. St. Rocks bar.
yeah.
Yeah, that place is,
Legit.
yeah. You
Yeah.
get catfish from there, you're good.
You're good.
Apparently not in Tennessee, though.
Tartar sauce looks fresh. I'm really thinking about this because you go to gas stations and they have all this food and stuff out there. I'm like, man, that taquito looks pretty good. But I was like, don't eat it, man.
It's a roll of the dice every time.
It really is. Yeah,
I feel like some of that food's really good, but it's just me.
yeah. Maybe roll the dice.
Right.
You're on the road all the time. Gas stations are everywhere. You kind of gotta
Jesse
eat
rolled.
what you could. I rolled the dice quite often.
He rolled the dice in Germany. It was my fault, too.
Oh,
I picked it out
God.
for him, and he got so sick.
That's the
What
most
was
sick
that?
I've ever been.
It's like a ham steak, or it's like a loaf. They just have all these weird meatloafs.
Yeah, it's like a ham
of
loaf.
Different.
Sandwich, and I was like, I don't know about this.
It's just
Wait,
a
I
giant
can't even
slice
picture
of
what that
ham.
looked like.
It kind
Ham
of looked
loaf? Like
yeah.
a meatloaf, but it was a
Is
ham
that like spam?
It looks like
It
spaghetti.
kind of like spam.
in between two pieces of bread.
Yeah, it tasted.
Oh, you're selling it well.
No condiments,
Yeah.
no vegetables,
Just-
like that thick.
Yeah, and then we got like,
That thick.
Thick.
10 miles down the Autobahn, and I was like, pull the van over now. This is not. I've made a mistake.
And he never blamed me, but it was my fault. I was like, you should try that. It looks very German.
That's the sickest I've ever been at.
I feel like Wasted Years, the song itself, is not necessarily about these things that we've been talking about on and off the record, but it really just fits. I mean,
Well, yeah, it's about, the fun times you have and the mistakes you make in the process of having those fun times.
so it could fit with throwing pumpkins at mailboxes.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
hitting golf balls at cars, or
Or that chicken salad sandwich vending machine.
what have you,
I feel like we were just less creative, and I'm disappointed now because I'm too old to do it.
You're not.
Now it doesn't make sense, right? It's like you get caught now doing it. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't even know.
Trying to relive.
Just
years
start
of-
playing the song.
Yeah.
Listen to this, cop.
I had some friends. I saw them when I pulled in the parking lot right by Schlitterbahn and Galveston. They're like, I'm like, hey, what's up? What are you about to do? Like, we're about to sneak into Schlitterbahn. I'm like, cool, man. Let me grab my pantsuit. I'll meet you down there. And as I'm walking up, I'm like, well, I'm too sober for this, man. How am I going to explain this to cops? You know? And I'm like, I've got kids, I'm married, and they was like, what are you breaking into Schlitterbahn? So I ended up not going. And then, found them the next day, and they're like, dude, no one ever came. We're going down slides. We're just having a blast, you know, just having a great time the whole park for like hours. And then they just went back to the hotel.
Missed opportunity.
Man.
Wasted time.
Wasted
I
years.
stayed in the room and ordered in some quesadillas or something. I don't know.
Man, roll of the dice.
Yeah. So sometimes wasted times, you know, you should have done the stuff that may have gotten you in trouble.
You could have woke up in jail.
Right.
So,
That's never a good place to wake up.
especially since you were too sober to go to Schlitterbahn.
Yes.
You never want to wake up in jail sober. Then something really bad happens.
I was gonna say, it was like, what am I gonna explain? The cops could be like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, I don't know anymore. It's
a good
put me out of my misery. Just lock me up for a while. Need to figure this shit out.
I need to think.
Don't tell my wife.
Yeah, tell me. You need to make a phone call? No. No. I'm safer.
What am I going to say?
I'm safer behind these bars.
Just make sure you keep her up on that.
Yeah. Wasted years, man. That's.
I mean, the intro clip from Misfits that Veronica put together kind of says it all. The, like,
Yeah.
We were so beautiful. We fucked up. I'm sorry.
no.
We flipped up bigger and better than any generation that came before us. We were so beautiful.
Completely untrue, because these guys
Oh yeah, apparently.
were totally untrue misfits.
We did not. With every generation, they flip up a little worse.
Yeah. I loved that intro. It is the perfect intro for that song, and I like hearing Veronica do it live.
I do the bit.
It's great when people do the "We were so beautiful."
Yeah.
The hardest
With
part
it.
is playing the lead, because they go, "You're wearing cardigans," and then I try to play the lead and I fuck it up every time. Oh,
You flip it up every time. Sorry, Kevin.
sorry, Kevin.
Yep.
Yeah. We're definitely headed into segment 4 territory right now. Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
Yeah.
What song do you guys usually end the show with? Or does that change from like place to place? Or?
I think on the last tour we ended with "To Kill a Sunrise," which is kind of an older song.
No, we ended with.
But then "Wasted Years" was the encore.
Yeah, but didn't we start doing Elvis again?
Oh yeah, but I mean that's like a.
That's at the end of learning curve, isn't it? We don't know. We don't remember. We don't actually remember.
Yeah. How did you guys decide which ones you wanted to kind of focus on? Because, you know, I mean, just normally when I ask the bands about this, it's, you know, I don't really have the background that I have with these songs. So what made you decide on these 4 that we're listening to tonight? Because there are a lot of songs, like "To Kill a Sunrise" is probably like got the most streams on like the streamers.
I think, well, we did Countin Cards because Elliot and Veronica and I all wrote that one together.
Okay.
Wasted Years because we've recorded it twice. You did the video for the original recording.
But
So
just like the Don Wally's video, you'll never find it, folks.
I know. I want to watch this video.
We actually, when my dad did the video for the original Wasted Years, you can hear his alarm clock going off and him coughing. And we re-recorded it with Fat Wreck. We were like, we have to have my dad's cough in the beginning of the song.
That's right. I'm on a Fat Wreck song.
Congratulations.
Put that back in. Also, I think our dog Tim's in the middle of that one. You can hear him like growling.
Yeah.
The
buddy.
buddy. What were the other ones? Sentient Beer.
Yeah.
Just because that's kind of a staple. We play that at every show.
Right. That's a really, speaking of videos, like good videos that people can see and should see.
All right, check them out. Look them up online. I mean, you find them everywhere. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube, Spotify, you know, all the places where music is nowadays. Just type in "Escape from the Zoo" and you will get to hear a lot more music. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, Everyone, we will talk to you next week. And on behalf of all the two badasses behind the boards, you have Jason Sparza, DJ Muskratch, Justin Deos, and myself. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.